it was the right time to come back home. When you work in different international companies and you're abroad, usually when you come back home, the first thing you say, okay, I will try to bring the maximum experience which I had there. You try to bring the most positive thing you learned from. It's so fortunate as well to have those chances. And sometimes you're in the right place at the right time with the right people. It gave me a lot of opportunity. And maybe, yes, that's why I enjoy it a lot. And it was for me a decision like, I want to take this challenge. In a few years, I think we're going to sit and say, wow, we went there, we've done that, we have achieved that.
I've always been looking for avenues in which I could express my ideas, get to the essence of problems and solve them. A life of adventure, a life in which I could at least achieve my goals more directly. It's important to align yourself with what people need. To put away your personal beliefs in terms of, what you think is correct and what you think is right. And listen, really listen to the people around you. Listen to the environment that you're in. And solving those problems are what makes me happy.
Sometimes when I speak to my kids before I go out racing, they start telling me, when you're coming back, and they start crying and everything. Then when I say, yeah, but I'm racing tomorrow, and then they stop crying, they say, okay, go race and get the first. You knew there's lots of people that will be watching you. If you really drop down a little bit, and you're letting them down because they're aiming to be like you. So you push yourself.
Your head's strangely clear. You kind of clear everything out and it's just, movement on the rock. Going up. I think when you get used to it, it becomes natural. Internal dialogue and silence is really nice. It's very still. You've probably put considerable effort, number of tries to link the movement together to be able to do it without falling. And it's liberating. Where you've tried and tried and tried, you feel like, what more can you give? At the same time, it's the end of something. You have to find something new, more challenging to work towards.
I think it was all about instincts. So it was just an instinct about this looked good, has to just shoot it. And I think the more I learned photography, the more I got kind of surrounded with, how you're supposed to do it by rules. The idea is one thing, but when you feel you've got the image, it's there, I think if you don't make any mistakes, it just means that you're not learning. I think just the tranquility of the surroundings, in a sense, was a real healing power for me, When I look through the viewfinder, my world is in there.
I've always lived within sight of the ocean. I spent, I think, 1 year of my life in the middle of the land, in the middle of Europe, and I was lost the whole time. I had no idea where I was. And it was really just always this incredible sense of peace and freedom and tranquility. of being in this amazing place and this amazing water. I love that sense of really being able to share with people a good meal, a beautiful setting, a nice experience, you know, and to be able to take that beyond the family, I think is really rewarding. I love it. But at the end of the day, you know, we know when we sail out and, you know, we're all in uniform and the boat is spotless and we know that the food's going to come out and look spectacular, and people are saying to me, this is a perspective that we've never had. You know, I never realised that, you know, it was quite so lovely. That's then you know it's worth it.
I was trying to do something for the first time. I haven't seen it done from an Omani point of view. It's something I worked hard for and I dreamt about, and it's achieving what you want to accomplish in life. For me, it's definitely a massive struggle. I was taking a risk to compete in a sport that I love, but at the same time, it was more than just a sport. You know, it was about turning into a professional racing driver. And that meant focus and to dedicate 100% on this sport. All that just disappears the minute I sit in the car. We do what we do best. That's where we're comfortable. The rewards are even better once you do well, because looking back at it and struggling for something and then accomplishing, it's a different feeling.
I always try to argue, how can we develop ourselves to develop our country? What's our role later on? The experience that you've gained from other countries or other cultures, how can you adapt it? It's very easy to read, but it's extremely difficult to change. And I always would tell myself, after graduating school, I would try to help other students to be able to help them find their passion by introducing new concepts, create an equal opportunity for everybody.
Give more than what you take. Leave behind a legacy. It doesn't have to be huge, it just needs to be positive. And being able to create something that has such a span of influence on your culture and your youth, I think makes it all worth it. Everyone's looking for that experience, and Oman has so much to offer because it is different.